Good morning, sixth grade. Sorry, there was a delay on this video. I was having trouble downloading it, so I just reshot it. So anyway, it is a kind of a challenging lesson today, so I wanted to make sure that I had something for you to look at and for you to maybe reference back or look over a couple of times, and hopefully it'll help this make a little bit more sense. We did the simple tenses yesterday, and I know that it seemed really easy and that you probably wondered why we were even doing it. But I do think looking at the simple tenses is a way for you to kind of anchor yourself, first off, in tenses at all, and get yourself really focused on what those are. And they're just something that we use in our language so naturally, we don't even think about it. If you look at language development in a young child, they will change the tense of a verb long before they ever know what a verb is. Sometimes they don't change it properly, so you'll hear like a little 2 or 3 year old try to change the tense of a verb and they use it in the wrong way, or they almost kind of make up their own. But they know intuitively from living with people and living life that there's something that happens in this moment and that there's something that has happened in the past, and that there is a way to express that in our language. And so as we get older and we begin to understand what tense is and we can understand it in our minds, then it's a little different. But again, like I said, it's a natural progression of language, even in little people. So the progressive tense explains, or I would say captures, something about time that the simple tenses don't. Just to get this in your head, the progressive tense is a combination of a form of the verb to be plus a present participle. And to remind you of what that is a form of the verb to be is going to be something like is, am, are, was, or were. Those are kind of the basic ones that we use. Plus, you're going to have a verb form that ends in ing. The present participle always ends in ing. So the progressive verb is always a helping verb from the verb to be, and always coupled with a present participle that ends in ing. To change the tense of the progressive, you don't change the participle. The participle always ends in ing. It's always there. What you change is you change the tense of the verb to be. And that's what I think is kind of confusing for people, is because we always associate ing with present and something that's going on presently. And actually you're right, but what this tense is trying to express is an idea of an event that takes place or took place in that present moment. But you can be referring to it in the past, or you can be referring to it in the future. So it's kind of, you have to really kind of get your head wrapped around it. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples using the same verb, and hopefully this will help you do your practice today. So hang on just a second. I flip my handy dandy little board around here. Okay, so this may be really helpful for you, and you may want to take a few notes here. The present progressive, which is number 1 up there, is telling you about something that happened today, that is happening today. All right, so I gave you the example. Sam is running the race today. All right, so it's ongoing right now in the present. You'll notice the is, and you'll notice running ends in ing. Now the past progressive of that exact same verb means that this happened yesterday. So you're trying to refer to it in the present moment of yesterday, which I know is confusing. In the present moment of yesterday. So the sentence would be, Sam was running the race when it began to storm. Sam was running the race when it began to storm. Now, if you compare Sam is running the race to Sam was running the race, you will notice that running does not change. It ends in ing, it stays in ing. That word never changes. The word that changes in this progressive form is the helping verb, the verb to be. It goes from is running to was running. So the way you know you're dealing with the progressive is you see that ing word, but what changes is that auxiliary or that helping verb, the form of the verb to be. The last example is the future progressive, and this would be something that is happening at the moment, but you're referring to it happening tomorrow. Okay, so it's happening in the moment of tomorrow. All right, so the example is Sam will be running the race when the storm hits. Sam will be running the race when the storm hits. Obviously, this hasn't happened yet, but we're referring to it that when it happens, he will be running. He will be in the act of running. Okay, so you notice again, running stays the same. It doesn't change from the first example to the second example or the third example. It stays the same. It ends in ing. That's your key that you're dealing with a progressive tense. But again, what has changed is the helping verb. Now we're using will be, which is the future form of the helping verb to be. So we've gone from is to was to will be. That's the part that's changed. And the verb running has stayed the same and ends in an ing. Hopefully this will help you navigate the work that you have to do today. And tomorrow when we meet on our Zoom, make sure you have your books with you. Make sure you have the page that you're working on today, and we'll check it, go over it, and make sure that you understand what you're doing. Okay, because I do want you to know the difference between the simple tenses, which we did yesterday, the present tense, or excuse me, the progressive tense, which we're doing today, and tomorrow we're going to talk about the perfect tenses. So they're all different, and they can get very confusing when you look at them. But when we have them on the test, I will make sure that they're very simple questions that I ask you, and I will allow you to use a little cheat sheet, for lack of a better term. You know I hate that, but I will let you take some notes and have them next to you when you take your chapter test next week. All right, you guys hang in there and have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Zoom.